It's another beautiful day out here. As you can tell, the clouds have rolled in. It's probably going to rain, so you can be assured that we have something to do today outdoors. They're actually going to lower the lake down here. They're going to drop the lake about four feet or so, and so we have to take the boat out because the water in the boat dock area is only about 2 to 3 feet. So they're going to leave the lake down for I think about a week or so, 10 days, and then they're gonna fill it back up, and it's turning into nice prime fishing time too. So what we got to do is we're going to take the boat and we're going to take it back down to the airport marine, and they're going to put the console in because we got a second console, so Angie doesn't have to get blasted by the wind, especially as the weather's cooling down here. It's going to get pretty cold out there in the mornings, in the evenings, so that second console would be nice. Also, what they've got to do is they have to repair this burn in the carpet. So they're going to replace this whole piece of carpeting right here. So I called down there to try and make an appointment, of course. It's first come, first serve. So we just got to go down, drop the boat off. I think we're going to wash it, and then we're going to drop the boat off and and see what they do. I'm going to predict that they're not going to be able to get it done in 10 days. And it's probably going to be a case where I'm going to just take the console with me and put it in myself, and probably do the same with the carpet. But we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise me. I don't think so, though. I've called down there a couple times for things, and nobody's really gotten back to me. So I think they're kind of like the RV industry, where you buy like a really expensive item and you don't get much service after the sale. But that's okay. That's, from being in the RV industry, we kind of expect that anyway. So we'll just carry on and do the best we can. But right now we've got to take everything out of the boat. We've got to take all our tackle out. That's why we got Angie here. Angie's going to take everything out.
I'm going to take all the stuff out. At least it's not a big RV, I will say that.
Yeah. And we have a good place to put it.
Yeah, I got all the space, so.
And we can take it out. We can get it washed. We can get some gas in it.
Yeah.
And I don't have to lug the gas cans down. But so far the boat's actually been working really well. We haven't had any problems with it. We've been out almost every day fishing.
Yep.
The fishing has picked back up. So
yeah, I caught 3 the other night, which was awesome.
You did.
And just tell them about the dry dock situation we found on this.
Well, yeah, we found a switch on here that actually we were some of the compartments were getting moist.
So I was always opening all of them up when I came back from fishing.
Yeah, usually in a boat, when you keep the compartments closed, they get kind of a marine smell to them, and especially here where it's humid all summer. But this feature, they've got a dry dock switch, and basically what that is you just turn that switch on, and there's a fan that circulates air throughout all the compartments in the boat. So we can pretty much just leave everything closed up, leave the dry dock switch on when we're not using it, and it actually works amazing. The compartments smell fresh, and
yeah.
We just found that. I mean, I don't think anybody told us about it, and
No.
we're looking through the switch because the switch is kind of hidden, and we're looking through the switches and we're like, what's this dry dock thing?
We did. We laughed about it. Like, what do? You turn it on when you're at the dock? I mean, what does it do? And it does amazing.
So we found it, and it works
Thumbs
good.
up, Cedar.
So we got our fan here. Our fan's working pretty good, although it's a little cold this morning.
Yeah.
But the spiders are still everywhere. You
They
can
are
see.
relentless, man.
You can see the spiders are just everywhere. So I come out here with a broom every day. I just sprayed bug spray yesterday. Even look at this. The spiders have built cobwebs over the bug trap.
Well, they're getting the was wondering
over,
about it.
over the sticky trap, the spiders have built a cobweb. that's when you know you can
Bold,
never.
Jerry.
That's when you know you can never
They
get
are
rid of
brazen.
them.
They are brazen spiders in here.
Yeah.
They build them different down in the south, man.
Yeah, they're everywhere. So here we have the doors. Now let's see if I
Here,
can.
I got it.
Let's see if I can do this.
I-
That's the only kind of a weird thing is.
It's very.
I wish I had electric over, but it's not a big deal.
It's not
just,
a big deal, but
the problem is I have to reach through the spider webs in order to open
exactly.
the door every morning.
Well, that's me and my paddleboard placement there. That's
Yeah,
always-
we've got your paddleboard rack.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Angie's paddleboard has not been used because why, Angie?
Because I cut my hand because I used a putty knife towards myself. I had one of those pop sockets on the back of my phone that I wanted to get off. And so I took it and I was scraping it off. It came off, but then I jabbed myself.
It was more than a jab. It was actually very deep cut. It was spurting out blood. I mean, the blood was just everywhere. And we had debated going to the emergency room for stitches, but
Yeah.
we said, well, we'll see if it will stop bleeding.
Yeah, this is a lot better.
And
than
it pretty much stopped bleeding after a couple
yeah,
hours.
about
For the
2
most
hours.
part, we put some liquid bandage on it,
Yeah,
and it was ugly.
yeah.
It was ugly. And then the next day it was bleeding a little more, and we bandaged it up. And it's been a week now.
It's weak.
Week.
So it healed pretty well. So.
She heals good for an old lady.
I do, darn it.
It's all those vitamins.
I know. I started taking
It's that,
vitamins again.
it's that healthy eating. It's
I
that
know.
fishing.
It's the fishing.
So she hasn't been able to fish either. But,
No.
So I've been out every day, but I haven't been catching much. And then she went out 2 nights ago with me and caught, 3, 4,
Four-
5 fish? Something.
yeah,
I mean, she was just
something
pulling
insane.
one after the other. I caught one. But
It was my Terminator, man.
but then we went out last night. Same weather,
Stumped.
same everything.
Yeah.
Same. The weather was
Absolutely.
exactly the
Yep.
same. The same time. Got nothing. Nothing at all. In the same spot.
Yeah, the fish didn't love
everything.
me last night. I was so
Yeah.
sad.
So
But since we have to take the boat out, it was a good way to end the fishing, I guess.
the other thing is my life vest.
Oh, yeah,
I've
I
got
took mine in. Here,
I've
I'll
got
go
one.
grab it.
I've got one of those life vests that auto inflate, and so they use a little CO2 cartridge in them. And I came out one morning.
Oh, this one.
They're these, and they're actually little light things, and they got a CO2 cartridge.
a
So
little strap.
if they hit water, they automatically inflate,
Yeah.
and then you can pull them and inflate them like this. So I had that. It was like $120 for that. And I came out one morning, and I usually leave my life jacket in my seat. Yeah, and it was inflated. It was sitting there inflated in my seat. So I'm like, well, that sucks. And so I went and I bought another CO2 cartridge because you just replace them. And I replaced the cartridge, and it instantly inflated right away again. So I was a little
Peeved.
angry at that. So I just went out and bought a regular life jacket. It's not very comfortable, but it does the trick. And it's just for when we're going down the lake at 70 miles an hour anyway. So, but that's our update today.
Yeah,
We're
that's
gonna
an exciting
we're gonna get this
update.
cleared out. We're gonna take it onto the boat ramp when there's nobody there. It's Friday morning, so
Yeah.
pretty much everything's boat ramp's empty today,
It's a good time.
and we'll take it down there and see what they say. We've got everything all cleaned up, and we put the cover on. We didn't think we'd have to use the cover, but looks like it could be sitting outside in the weather for an unknown amount of time. So we figured we'll put the cover on. It took us longer to put the cover on than it did to wash the boat up, but looks pretty good. So we're gonna drive it down the freeway here and see if the cover stays on. It should. It seems to be pretty solid, but whether or not that's the case, I don't know. Oh, they got an access panel here. I guess you can access everything from in there. Okay. Well, we'll carry on. we just dropped our boat off.
Yes.
It was actually
More pleasant than I thought it was going to be. I was actually super surprised of we walk and they're like, "Hey, how's the boat going?" I'm like, "Good. We're here to drop it off. We have the carpet they have to replace, and we got Angie's counsel, so I don't freeze to death this winter."
Apparently, we were memorable.
Yes.
They knew when we walked in. But yeah, he walked around the boat. He's like, "Oh, I see. This is bad. This
Things
is
that
bad.
we didn't even notice.
Let me just get this put on there for you. We'll look everything over and
We'll check the hours, see if you need an oil change. Yeah. So we'll see how many hours we actually put on this beast.
Well, they need to get that guy on the phone because I suppose they probably get a lot of people just calling, complaining all the time, and stuff like that. So, but no, impressive. I didn't expect that at all.
No, I mean that was. I was shocked.
I've never got that service in any of the RV dealers we've been to.
That's what we were saying. I'm like, oh, please don't be like the RV. Please don't be like the RV.
So now we gotta drive home. We'll stop at the grocery store.
Yeah, stop.
And I guess we'll wait and see how they do.
See how long it takes.
I'm at first I was a little bit. I was thinking I'm going to have to install this myself. And,
you did.
And I said I'm probably going to have to do that. But now I've got a positive outlook.
You do.
Now,
He's much happier now, guys.
I got a positive outlook. I think.
Before this, it was not. He's like, I really don't have to drive all the boat all the way down there, and if they don't get it done, I'm going to just bring it back home. But we'll see.
I'm positive. I'm being positive. We'll see.
We'll see.
So we are at the lake again today. So we're working on the lake today. There's an airplane flying overhead. Looks like they've got everything drained down. I think we're down we must be down about 4 feet by the sign of the water line there on the dock posts. So we've got about a foot or so of water out in front of our dock left. So that's kind of curtailed our fishing for a while. But I'm just out picking out some trash today, kind of cleaning the weeds. It's been a first kind of dry day we've had out here. So I've got to replace some of these dock posts eventually. Some of them are a little bit water worn. We replaced a few already, but it looks like there's a couple that are way out there that are in pretty rough shape. But that'll be a job for maybe next spring or something. Didn't really plan on it here. I didn't think they were too bad yet. So we've got a couple years. So now what we've got here is we've got bees that are making a nest in our siding on the boathouse. So they've been flying into the holes in the siding, and there's a huge nest in there. If I go inside, I can hear them buzzing. So I've been caulking the holes to try and keep them out. But what they're doing is they are they're mad this morning because I just caulked them this morning. But they're actually biting holes, eating holes in the caulking, and they've done this like almost every day. They've got a new hole in there. So I've been coming out every day or every morning before they get around, and I've been putting more caulk on there. But no matter what I do, I just can't seem to keep them from getting angry. I'm going to walk by them here to see how many sting me. We've only been stung a couple times by them, but so this is the other side of the dock. All the junk that's on this side is really bad because out here the water only comes up just a couple inches right up in here. So I've cleaned up all this stuff here. This was a huge pile the other day. I came out the other day when it was kind of raining. Cleaned it all up. And a neighbor came by and sprayed some weeds down here, but I was thinking about maybe leaving them and keeping the fish in here. But we've got a couple logs. I think these logs are from the trees we cut down, because the trees were standing right up there. But this was all pine needles, all like this stuff. So I got to do a little more cleanup today here, and then pick up the garbage. And I guess we'll see where that goes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all this stuff. I'm probably just going to put a pile out here and burn it. But the dock on this side doesn't look too bad. The posts are actually in good shape. It's the upper boards that probably need some help. But once again, I won't do that this year. I'll probably do it maybe next spring. All kinds of equipment. Everybody's working on their docks and their boat ramps and their boat lifts and you name it. So that's my report for today. I'm still waiting on the boat. It's been a week and a half. Haven't heard anything. So we'll see. The lake isn't supposed to be filled up for another week, so they got another week to do what they need to do. But we'll see. Like I said, I'll probably be doing it on my own, but I'll give them a little more time. Well, here we are. We have full lake level today. Finally, it's been a couple weeks since they lowered the lake, and everything is full again. We repainted the fish. I've been pulling out weeds because people have been cutting down the weeds and letting them float down the lake. Of course, it goes into our back area here. So we've been getting that handled here. We got the boat back in yesterday. So that worked out good. They got it back to us. It took them 2 weeks. They did motor service. They put in the second console. We took it out for a ride. Unfortunately, I forgot my life jacket in my truck. I had to take the truck in for service. And of course, when you take a Dodge in for service, apparently it takes multiple days, or maybe that's just for us. But unfortunately, I forgot one of my life jackets in there, so I had to go buy another life jacket. That took 2 hours through traffic yesterday. But we got it back. They said we had to run it for full throttle for at least 10 minutes every time we take it out. So I guess we have to figure out, we haven't been going that far, from the house to fish, but I guess I'll have to take it around the lake and run it full throttle. But we did take it up and down the lake last night when we got it in. I've still got this bee problem here. As you can see, they are angry. I put some pest control dust, and it's supposed to get on the bees when they touch it and then dehydrate them and clear them out. I put that there last night. Once again, I think it made them grow angrier and bigger. So we're gonna see. I've been watching them all day, and they don't seem to be slowing down at all. So here's our bank here. All the junk over there. And our neighbor has some stuff. I went and pulled some of her weeds out too. I've been pulling weeds out here. We've got our motor that keeps the water circulating here. So that's been pretty much taking everything out around around this whole shoreline. But everything's cleared up a lot nicer. I'm going to spend the next couple days just pulling stuff out of the lake. But that should be pretty good there. We've got this Bougainvillea, which is growing like a weed. And let's see if I can skate by here without getting stung again. But otherwise, we had the window guys here today. They were going to replace, or they were replacing windows. So you can tell those nice white ones up there, they replaced those ones. They were leaking badly. And they were supposed to replace that big one, but they came here, and of course, they looked at it, and they said, yeah, well, we don't have the equipment or the people we need. So they got to bring a hoist in, they've got to build scaffolding up, and then they got to bring 2 crews of people in to get that window out of there. So it's going to be interesting. And then I've got to go up and paint it somehow. So the dogs, of course, are digging holes all over the lawn. They're preparing for the rainy season here. The rainy season's going to come probably in December. And looks like they've got a bunch of wood mulch here that they kind of left. But yeah, it's par for the course. So next project we have is painting windows. We got to paint all the window frames that aren't painted, all the white ones. And once we get that done, then the house should be looking pretty good again. So we got the Jeep back finally. That was in the shop for 2 months, I think, and that's been running pretty good. And the cycles have been running good. So we're just kind of getting back to our normal everyday life that we were missing over the past year, which means, of course, we're not doing anything too exciting. We're probably going to be hanging out for a little while, enjoying some time, and then maybe looking at an RV here in the near future. But we'll see how that goes.